Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? What's the one place or situation where you still allow people to treat you like a child? Some of you just got very upset and you're going to say, Ivan, I'm an adult. I don't let anybody treat me like a child. Stick with me, and I bet by the end of the video, you'll be willing to reconsider that assumption. When we are children, we are completely dependent upon the adults in our environment. They provide us with everything, a place to live, food to eat, with shelter, with warmth, with reassurance, all that good stuff. And we quickly learn that their disapproval is dangerous. In fact, that's hardwired into us on an evolutionary level because our ancestors, well, if they weren't really approved of by their parents, things didn't really end very well for them. So we learn to seek their approval. And so when you see something like contempt or disapproval or anger from the adults, it makes you very, very uncomfortable. And you want to do whatever you can to get back into their good graces. We get a little rebellious as teenagers and we end up testing those bounds, but still, we stay pretty close to not getting mom and dad or whoever's taking care of us really, really upset. Because of that, the adults in our lives pretty much influence or control everything that we do. How we behave, how we talk, when we eat, what we wear, what subjects we're allowed to talk about, what opinions we're allowed to have, where we go, who we hang out with, the whole gamut. All of us had different childhoods and all of us had different extremes of that control, but we all experienced it. So let's see, where else in our lives do we let people tell us those things? What time we have to be there, when we can eat, what time we leave, how we behave, how we talk to other people, how we dress, maybe what we talk about, how we address them. Oh yes, at our jobs. Just like childhood, we are in a state of dependence with our jobs. Unless you're financially independent and you've got a whole bunch of money in the bank, you need that job. And in fact, I think it's something like 35% of people couldn't handle a $400 unplanned expense, and a little bit over 50% of people in the United States couldn't handle a $2,000 one. For the most part, self-included, we are completely financially dependent upon our job. Yes, you can always get another one, but it's easier said than done. And I've discovered in this financial climate, it can be really difficult to land a job. Because of that, the approval of our job seems safe. Their disapproval, that seems dangerous. And obedience seems like the best course of action. And it's the best course of action because it allows us to survive. Pretty much our lives are in their control. We can talk a good game and say, well, I really don't give a shit what they think. But when they call you in the office, when it starts to look like the hammer might fall or the axe or whatever falls, you start to sing a different tune. Most of us fall back in line pretty fast when things get dicey. And what happens is we don't show up to our jobs as ourselves. We show up as a version of ourselves that fits into their mold and that acts the way that they want us to, dresses the way they want us to, does everything the way they want us to. So we fit the company vision and mission, and we're cogs in their machine. We're not really people, we're resources, but we're resources at their mercy. And so it becomes this perfect mirror of childhood. Whatever you do, don't make daddy mad because bad things can happen. This isn't just degrading and dehumanizing. It fundamentally changes us. We start to believe that we're not capable of other things. We stop trusting ourselves. We don't take risks. We stop dreaming. We call this cage we're in safe because it feels familiar, but it's not safe. It's just predictable. And as many of us have seen, that can change in an instant. And the company you've worked for 20 years can just lay you off out of nowhere. We live in a state of learned helplessness and we have no control over our lives. This is one of the many reasons I started to consider self-employment as a reasonable way out of my job rather than just going to another one. Because I wanted to be able to take control of my life. I wanted to be an adult. I wanted not to be dependent upon other people. I didn't want to ask permission every time I wanted to try something new or go to the bathroom or wanted to eat. I wanted my voice and my values and my identity back. I wanted to be an adult with agency. Will I still be dependent on somebody else if I'm self-employed? Of course, because you're dependent upon your customers, your clients, your viewers, whatever it is. But we can interact with each other as equals. It's not that terrible parent-child relationship that you have in a job. Because, I can adjust to the customers, the people, the viewers, whatever it is. They can adjust to me and we can agree to do business or not do business like equals. It's really hard to feel like an equal when somebody else tells you when you have to wake up and whether or not you can go to your child's baseball practice. So am I there yet at full self-employment? No, I'm in the trenches just like a lot of people. This is the part of the video where I'm supposed to sell you my plan or my 5-step secret to success. I'm not going to do that. I don't have one. I'm just a regular person like you. So what do you do if this resonates with you? Well, the good news is you don't have to burn everything down. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow and walk out and, go out and say, well, I'm independent. That's crazy. You'll end up in the poorhouse. What you do have to do is claim your adulthood back. You're not a child anymore. You don't need anybody's permission to do anything. And so if you want to start something else, if you want to look into alternate sources of income, you can do that. You're a grown-up. You get to make those decisions. And you have to stop pretending that your job or that cage you're in is home. It is not home. It is not safe. It is just predictable. It takes a lot of the responsibility off of us. I mean, I really felt safe in the job because I didn't have to be the one that with the buck stops here. But the thing is, I never got to make any kind of decisions anyway, and it kind of sucked for me no matter what. So I'd rather be that person that says the buck stops here. At least I'm the one that gets to decide what to do with the buck. And if what I do fails, then I try something else, because failing doesn't define me. It doesn't define you. It doesn't make you or I a failure. Striking out on your own, even when you have the job as a safety net, it feels frightening, but it's also pretty liberating because you get to make these decisions. You get to act as an adult with agency. You don't have to ask mommy or daddy or grandma for permission. You can do it yourself. That may resonate with you, that might not. But it resonates with me because I, for one, am sick of letting people treat me like a child. I don't let people do that in relationships with me anymore. And it took me a while to get over that. But now I don't want that from my job either, because I'm an adult. I don't need that. And the more that I look at my job and the more that I look at the culture of that job and other jobs, the more I realize that we're being abused. We're being talked down to as if we're children, and disposable ones at that. And you and I, we're not disposable. We're human beings. I would love to hear all of your comments and feedback on this one. If you've escaped your job, if you're stuck in your job and you don't know what to do, if you're trying to get out of your job, if you think I'm completely nuts and I'm just being a crybaby and we live in a wonderful society, I would love to hear it all. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you want to support the channel, you can like the video, subscribe, and you can throw me some bucks on the super chat too if you want to help support the channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Have a good one, kids.